Alright guys, welcome back to another update of Destiny. It is October 18th, 2016. This is Mugen Katsuki bringing you the latest news from Bungie.net. Now, if you remember from my previous video, I have made a thing of the previous week of what the changes was going to be, so on and so forth, and apparently the Nightfall Strike is still at 360 light, even after the update, so I'm kind of curious in what's going on, but as long as we read this information here from Bungie.net, we'll have a clear understanding of what's going on. So without, wasting any further time, let's see what they have for us. Basically, it displays a bunch of information of some of the fixes that they've made, some of the issues that has been happening with the horn relays, with the rare special Ingrams converting into legendary, the Gjallarhorn's horn for like your Sparrow will no longer dismantle to a horn relay. There was issues where certain things will come in the packages of the Crucible, or the faction packages rather. Okay, all this information is useless. Okay, here's a good piece of information. They fixed an issue where some of the players were not receiving SIVA key fragments from the raid bosses in the Wrath of the Machine mission, which I find very interesting because I never had that happen to me. Also, on the normal mode of the raid, you only get one SIVA key from the bosses now, and on the hard mode, you will get two SIVA keys for the bosses in the raid. You can also keep getting, from what my understanding is, you can keep getting SIVA key fragments from the bosses each time now without having to worry if you did the raid the previous week or so on and so forth. They also removed a couple of items from certain 2015 events, which is like stuff for like the Halloween, the SRL, and stuff like that. You can also see your holiday collections now, and the kiosk, same thing with the Sparrow. Some of the emblems has been divided from regular Crucible and Trials of Osiris. Let's see. So there has been an instance where the exotic helmet for the Warlock has not been appearing in the exotic collection, which is kind of weird. For PvP, the Inferno Elimination is now available in private matches. Okay. Fix an issue where changing subclasses in orbit for PvP activity would reset the melee and grenade charges. Whoa, I never really experienced that. Let's see here. Fixed an issue where players were able to get under the stairs in the Drifter map. Okay. Fix an issue where Iron Banner support bounty was not awarding 5 points for allies defended. Lighthouse of Mercury is now a social space that can accommodate up to 9 players with a flawless trial passage. Okay, that doesn't apply to me because I can never get to fucking the Lighthouse anyways. Fix an issue where the uncommon Warlock bonds were being sent to the Postmaster for recovery. Eververse now gives you reputation boosters that can be sold upon silver or silver dust. Now here's the big change, which everyone needs to like really pay attention to, and then this might resolve the issue of why things are not like updating properly. Okay, read this one first. Fixed an issue where the Trespasser did not require an exotic shard to infuse. Okay, again, I didn't realize that. All changes to increase light above 385 will take effect upon the release of the heroic mode of the Wrath of the Machine raid. That's kind of an issue. But I also see at the same time they don't want no one to outbeat each other within the light level to have an advantage. So for you guys who's trying to get to 400 light and you're stuck at 385 to 387, might want to wait till the raid drops, which is around I think 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and according to your time zone. As mentioned before in the previous video that I've made, the SIVA Strike playlist will now drop up to 365 light, which is the regular 320 light version. The Heroic SIVA Strike, which is the 350 light one, will drop up to 385 light. Archon's Forge will drop up to 385 light, for the exception of Ghost and Artifacts, which can drop up to 400 light. Of course, Trials, Iron Banner, Crucible, and the Strike Core treasure chest will now drop up to 400 light. Including the Wrath of the Machine, Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner will now attempt to reward higher light on average items, which basically means if you're already stuck at around like 380 light, it'll probably give you a little bit more light of a compensation now instead of just like 1 light or 2 light. This is new. Vanguard, Crucible, and faction packages will now drop up to 390 light. That's really good for people who has a lot of materials. And also increased chances of artifacts and the Crota's Bane reputation. Also increased chances of Ghost and your faction packages and Crucible and Vanguard. The Ingrams, as mentioned previously, Rare Ingrams is 365, Legendary is 385, and Exotic is up to 400. They also fixed an issue where Firefly to activate many more times than intended, causing it to crash. Never had that issue. What the fuck? Okay, exotic Ingrams that no longer require the Rise of Iron DLC to be, to be acquired by exotic Ingrams. The Asherite Verse, which is the Warlock's Helm, the Ophidian Aspect, which is the Warlock Gauntlet, the Thagamizers, which is the Titan Gauntlet, and adjusted the rapid cooldown perk for the Frost EE5, which is the exotic legs for the Hunter, to no longer interfere with the base cooldown provided by stats. Okay. Fixed an issue with the roster previews for the following emblems: the Memories of Iron, the Shield of the City. Okay, that's, again, I never really... Okay. Eververse sections for emotes now displayed as emotes 1 and emotes 2. Okay, more simplified, I guess. Fix an issue where the Taken War Heroic Strike playlist tooltip incorrectly displayed +10 legendary marks as a reward. Okay. Fix an issue where the weekly Heroic Strikes node was not updating with the weekly reset, which is what I've been seeing here because it's still blue. Let's see. Fix an issue where the Heroic Siva Crisis playlist was not counting towards the Take a Strike in the record book and the Rise of Iron. So hopefully all these changes do get updated, as from what I can see right now, none of these changes has taken effect. Like, not one single change. Except for probably, from what I've seen from other streamers, like the vendor stuff in the tower, and the mask, and the shaders and shit. Everything else is still, like, left behind. So I don't even want to play the game until the raid comes out, so I can properly do the 380 light version of the Nightfall. So I can properly get exotic Ingrams to get at 400 light. So I can, do things accordingly. So for people who is at 380, 385, I recommend you do not do anything unless if you're wanting to save your Ingrams. Save your skeleton keys and all your 3 of coins so you can do it after when the hard raid comes out to progress further on with your light level. This has been a Destiny update with Mugen Ketsuki. Hopefully this has been as informative as I'm able to decipher it for you guys. If any questions or any news that you're wanting to know, please leave a comment below. Please like, rate, and subscribe, and let me know how the videos that I'm doing are. Like, if they're bad, if they're good. Do I need a little bit more pizzazz in my voice? Do I need to be more hype? Whatever the case may be. So just let me know, and I'll see you guys next time on the next video, and also see you guys in the tower. Peace.